Hello, welcome to review Rant Random. I'm having a bad day because I'm not well. And I'm trying to just... Oh. So last night I got up and looked at the films I've got to watch that I've bought that are in this room. Once they get watched, they get filed and go back into that room. And last night, King Kong Escapes. Now, I'd seen this when I was younger, and it's out on Blu-ray, which is it's very interesting. I'll talk about this actually, because obviously I started watching King Kong Lives, and I'm halfway through that, and that's gone back up on the shelf to watch. So I need to watch that. So my goal is to watch every King Kong movie or adaptation I've got of it for the channel, especially open that Son of Kong's book. Now, King Kong Escapes is a Toho release, and it's great that this got released in England because you can't get any of the Godzilla movies except for the original classic, and there's definitely a market for them. And what was really interesting about this one, I mean, Universal's brought it out. They've brought this Godzilla vs King Kong, so they've brought a couple of them out, but they haven't been able to license any of the bigger ones. So the front cover's pretty gnarly, very similar to the front cover that's always been, and a colossal battle between two King Kongs. Now, one of the interesting things about this King Kong is, obviously, it looks a bit funky. This is a funky looking King Kong. The score, obviously anyone who's a fan of the Toho Godzillas, this is like Destroy All Monsters soundtrack, you know what I mean? It's got all the classic Toho cues as well as sound effects. So as a fan of growing up watching the King Kongs, Godzillas, and then watching this, you think, oh yeah, you know what I mean? So it's great. So for something that's made in the 70s, isn't it? 136 minutes. It's definitely not 90. It's 1960. Character and name of King Kong by permission of RKO General. So that's even on the back of the box. So RKO's got a lot to answer for that. But it's from 1968. And this is what it came after Godzilla vs King Kong, so they must have licensed it for another film. So the storyline is that the Doctor Who, that's what he's called, Doctor Who. I mean, it's been dubbed in English, and here some weird jawline going on, and obviously it's dubbed, so okay. They're trying to dig for some uranium or something like that, and they actually build a fucking massive monkey. And you think, right, you need a monkey to find this, like. It's a bit baffling because they made this monkey to go down to dig this uranium out. With all the money they must have spent on making a gigantic fucking monkey, they could have just built some fucking kind of conveyor belt and diggers and stuff like that. It's ludicrous, the idea. So anyway, they build this giant monkey and he gets short-circuited. But it's very, very a lovely looking Blu-ray, but it's very, very brilliantly done for, you know, the master in the art of miniatures and people in suits. Yes, it's a person in a suit, but the Kong, the metal Kong, obviously looks a lot better than the King Kong does. So when King Kong pops up, he's just living on this island, hiding in a hole. There's even a bit later on when his helicopter goes past and he just peeks out, says what's going on, you know. The facial, like, it doesn't look vicious, and this will not be long before the Americans did the remake. But King Kong does not look vicious. I think the jawline is one of the biggest faults with it. And straight away there's a dinosaur from the Godzilla series pops up, and they have a fight, and like the dinosaur jumps up and drop kicks him, and you're like, what the fuck just happened there? And Kong runs backwards and does a flip up on his feet, and you think, what the fuck? And then when the dinosaur meets his demise, he's got fucking fairy liquid coming out of his mouth, like he's bubbling. You think, what the fuck? And then, but again, the miniatures, the way it's done is brilliant. The puppeteer works, and obviously they use little miniaturonics, and it's good. The story does wank along halfway through. The theory of how they get Kong off the island, again, they do that. It's quite well. And then they get to Tokyo and go nuts and have a fight. And there's a couple of weird things. There's a bit where, I mean, Brittany was laughing her head off, and I was like, what the hell are you laughing at? And there's an old guy with a stick, and basically he gets shot, and he just chucks this stick as he gets shot. It's the same with a woman later on, you know, like Doctor Who shoots her, and you think, how did he fucking miss her at that point blank? And she's sitting there with her arm like that, and then she destroys some of the metronics and stuff like that, and she gets shot, and she's like, ah, and oh, and I've moved too fast there. but that's hilarious. That's really funny. But then there's a bit where Kong runs after Meta Kong, and he's fucking proper zoom. It's such a funny walk. But again, with the reprojection and how the composite stuff on, it's really well done for the 60s. And you know what I mean? It's just, I mean, but again, it's just Kong. I think it's so stupid. Fight to the finish, and it's great to have in the collection. I didn't really think this would be the second entry. The second one should have been King Kong Lives, when there's more than King Kongs out, but I'll get to that one. But it's great on Blu-ray. I personally would have got this released no special features on it, and obviously it's the same label as King Kong Godzilla, so it's a bit of a shame that they haven't released more, especially the Toho. I would personally pay £100 on Blu-ray for the original Toho, even a bit more, but like either bring it out in one big box set in the UK, because it's not like, I mean, I've got loads of VHSs of King Kong, especially from the Toho range, and you go, right, hang on a minute, why did they actually even miss DVD? I mean, I met up with Chris at HorrorCon, and he was like, oh yeah, you can have these Godzilla films, and he had fucking loads, and I didn't want to be like, I'll just have them all, you know, like, I'll just have them too, and a nice little story about them. Check out the HorrorCon video, cheap plug. But like, Godzilla films, there's such a massive following them for not to be released in England. Like, they didn't come out on DVD, and I mean, I've just booked tickets to see Godzilla 2. I have a massive poster of that, and it's actually in this room. Jump cut, here I am. So that's an original Under Siege poster. That's my Tombstone poster that was taken off the wall. I'm sure I needed this for another video. No, I didn't. This is the first time this has actually been on camera. So I've just booked tickets for Godzilla 2. Look at that, man. King of the Monsters. It's massive, that. I might have to get this one framed as well. Odeon was nice enough to give us that, actually. It's awesome. That's all I've got there. So yeah, it's just weird that, I mean, especially, like, I know TriStar got a lot of answer for, and Sony for the Matthew Broderick one, but there's just a fan favourite there. And I was just thinking with these two movies, especially as well, is bringing King Ghidorah and stuff into that, that they might have released them, but they just haven't, you know what I mean? Look at that, man. Fucking hell. That needs some serious framing. I got that in Manchester the other week. It's a quid. It's an original fucking cinema poster, but we'll get to that. Right, I'll see you in the outtakes, because I'm going to show you the Mechagodzilla. Fuck me. Did you hear that? Did you see that outtake there? That was me in the room going, fuck me. She forget how heavy this is. Got that at HorrorCon this year. It is so heavy, it's ridiculous. That's Mechagodzilla and Godzilla together. It should really be in this room, you know. But where would you put it? Obviously, who you're going to fight with King Kong. Obviously, they had King Kong vs Godzilla, so Mechagodzilla was the next step for that. They probably want to do a bit more. But again, how classic King Kong was, and for only like a couple of years later for the big remake to be made, it's a one-off deal, I think. But yeah, I'm Steve Mason, sitting in the shadows, a little bit ill today. So yeah, thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.
And now, the end is here.